Peace, family. Daughter of Secrecy with level 7 and 7 principles. I'm with the No Salt, a nation of self-awareness. Today I want to talk about owning anything. We know we don't own really anything. Like, a lot of people don't even realize you don't even dress yourself. You think you dress yourself. You think you choose what you have on. No, you got that from multiple choice. That's what that is. You don't own your clothes. You don't own your clothes because everything around us is an illusion. And it withers away. You see my shirt breaking up? So you think you're holding on to it, and it's yours, but nothing is really ours. But we are the caretakers of the planet. We have been given dominion over this planet. If you Christian, that's in your Bible. If you, any of the ancient proverbs tell you that we have been given dominion over the planet. So today, we're in a world where we have some really, really evil people that's taking over the planet. So, and they have power. They have more power than us. What is power? Power is the rate in which you make something happen. They have more power than us. They can make things happen way faster than we can. But that's only because we as a people don't unify. So, when we begin to unify as a people, then we'll be able to gain power because we'll be able to get things done at a faster rate. Like, say somebody who can manipulate minds, they can get people to do things for them at a fast pace. Everything around us is an illusion. So ownership, this car I'm driving, the land I have, the house I have, the RVs I have, and the other vehicles, all of that, I'm just a caretaker of while I'm with it. Because when I leave this place, it all go behind it. Some of it will break apart right in front of you. You have to maintain a house. Because a house will fall apart on your ass. I know, because some shit of mine is falling apart. And I gotta fix up and stuff. So nothing is owned. But in order to regain our status as the caretakers of the planet, we have to play paper games and stuff. But we have to play paper games in the name of righteousness and spirituality. We have to play paper games to regain control and power over the planet. So in order to do that, you have to spin that paper. Money is just energy. So you have to call it to yourself in all the ways that we do. We call the money to ourselves. Because even when you go get a job, you're doing it for money. So that's the way that you made the call for money through this job. Right now, we're calling money to us because we need help to get this land that we're getting. So we ask for donations. That's a call. It's energy. When you want to go get something to eat, you have to have called money to yourself in order to spend it. It's just energy. Now in that, like I say, nothing around us do we own, but we are the caretakers of things. Source put us on the planet and gave us dominion of the planet. And again, I'll say we have some really evil people that's in charge of that. And they're in charge, though, because we don't unify. They have divided the gods. They have divided God from her son and her son. Just divided us as a people. Divided our lands. So, Africa, South America, these places is being bought up with this energy from these evil people. So it's just an exchange of energy. It's just a paper game. But you can play the paper game just enough that you become the caretaker of the things around you. So, like say, with the 5 acres, the 6 acres we have right now, plus the 5 coming, these 11 acres. And even though they still keep a little stipulation on there where you got to pay them taxes, but it's ways out of that too. You pay them taxes, they tax on the land. But what energy can I put back into this land now that I'm the caretaker of it? What energy can the wombs that's coming to this land put into the land? What can we change by being the caretakers of this land? We can feed ourselves and our children. We can provide for our elderly. We have a place to thrive instead of survive. So we'll play the paper game while we're doing so-called God's will or source's will. So the mindset you have to have, first off, how do you buy land? How do you buy a house? It's all a paper game. You buy it, you own things by paying for it and get out of that interest, because you wind up buying a house, but the house is owning you. When you sign into that house for 30 years, you got a 30-year mortgage. Now, a lot of people don't do this, but this is important. Look into, if your house cost you $75,000 and you paid $900 a month for 30 years, you're going to pay over $300,000 for a house you bought for $75,000, because most of that money go to interest instead of principal. God even said it in your Bible, y'all Christians. It said not to, it was a sin or against the laws to charge a man interest. So it's righteously unlawful to involve yourself in a situation where you are being charged interest, or you charge somebody else interest. Let's say I loan you $50 until you get paid on the first. I say, well, all right, but I want $10 back. I made money off of you. That's interest. No, you're supposed to. It's a give and receive thing. If I gave you 50, you give me 50 back. Because the act itself will pay for itself. The generosity itself will be paid for in the universe. So the planet that we're on, we have the paper trail. And that's why you have to play the paper game to regain control of this planet. You have to play the paper game to regain control. Or to become the caretakers of the planet again. I mean, you can buy land and you can do some degrading things on the land, like a lot of us do. We could be materialistic and we could just raise tall buildings, destroy the land, just worried about our materialistic world. Or we could buy land and live as close to natural as possible. See, it's important to buy land because when you buy land, you become an example to your people. Of how to take back control, and to yourself. So if you don't link with somebody who has bought land and y'all share the land and y'all thrive on this land, then you go get your own. But tribe up. That's what's important in this time that we're in. To tribe up. Everything in nature herds. It's in herds. It's in flocks. It's in schools. Schools of fish. Flocks of birds. Herds of all kinds of animals. You see everything of its kind stick together. If you go to the city park and you see a squirrel, you see a lot of squirrels. They all thrive together. And that's how they make it. No, the animals don't own land. The land take care of them. And I'm sure it's an exchange. But we're not that kind of animal. We're the animal with the sense of reason. Now, when you go so far back to nature that you think to own land is a mistake, then your mind has become, you've gone too far back to the animal kingdom. Okay, yes, we have to embrace our spirit animals and da-da-da-da-da, but we do what we do with instinct and intuition and common sense. Animals don't have the problems that we have. Animals don't have the situation or the lives or the needs that we have. Especially living in the world that we live in. Even in the most primitive societies, they didn't do things by paperwork. They did it by claim. This tribe knew that that land belonged to that tribe over there, or that tribe over there was the caretaker of that land. Even if you really pay attention to nature, though, nature has its territories. It's the same thing. You will not go over and you'll get a den of rattlesnakes. A king snake will not go in that den because that's that rattlesnake's territory. You'll get a pride of lions and lioness, that matriarch. And another lion won't come over there unless it's for the challenge, because that's that lion's territory. Now, the world we live in of humans, we stake claim too, but we got to do it with the paper game. We got to do their paperwork to own our plot. I mean, they'll continue to tax you unless you get with the more science temple and learn to claim your sovereignty and all of that, and then you can get out of those taxes too. It's a way around all of this stuff if you put the effort in. But it's important to buy land. But it's not important to buy anything that you have to pay interest on. Buy everything you have that you own or that you're going to get. Save up for it. You have to start making sacrifices. That's the seventh principle. And a lot of us and our people don't want to sacrifice anything. We want everything now. We want everything fast. We want everything we have in seconds. And they notice and they solicit to that. It's time to come to a calm as a nation and think smart. In this way, in the way of the mother and the religion of earth, we have to strategically regain control of this planet. And some of that means to play the paper game. We play it for everything else. If we choose to go overseas for our freedom, we know we can't just walk over there. You got to play the paper game. You got to call money to you, that energy. You got to get that plane ticket, that boat ticket, or that paper for gas. If you wherever you're going, however you get there, you're playing a paper game. So then you get to where you're going, and you got to have that passport. Once you have that passport, you got to play the paper game to keep that passport right. Once you get there, you got to play the paper game and rent. So what we got to do is figure out how to play this paper game with as less energy spent as possible. You got to start saving up that paper called trees. We have to start saving that up right now so we can stop spending so much money and so much of our time and so much of our lives, because it's hard to, I mean, what's the point of going to buy land and you owe your whole life to it? You can't even enjoy the land because you got to work for the next 30 years to have it. By then, you fucking tired, can't really enjoy it. Like me, I'm enjoying my land right now. When the sisters come, they just will enjoy the land because it's ours. We'll play the paper game enough to buy certain necessities that we need and do without what we don't need. If you don't need it, get rid of it. So if you can play the paper game in all of these different scenarios just to get to your freedom, why not, when you get to your freedom, be free for real? Become the caretaker of the land that you're on so you can live for free. Because whether you get your money for your rent via donations, go get a job, whatever it is, how much energy are you spending? If you work for yourself, how much energy are you spending to house yourself? How much energy are you spending to feed yourself because you can't grow your own food? So instead of spending that energy out into the world, you can spend that energy into the land. And you can communicate with your food. You can grow your food and enjoy your food. Put your own energy into it. Put your own conversations in it and mold your food to be what you need it to be. And eat right off the land that you are the caretaker of. So no, we don't truly own anything. But we need to start becoming the caretakers of shit. You the caretaker of that cell phone you got that cost you money a month. Most people are close to $100. You're the caretaker of the car you driving. You're the caretaker of the clothes you got on your body. Every time you wash it, you're putting energy into it. Why not put energy into owning your own or becoming the caretaker of land? We can own everything else, but it's like our people are afraid to own land. Now imagine you struggling between $500 to $900 a month, opposed to $100 to $400 a year. We have to start thinking smart and breaking cycles. Sometimes we become too smart for ourselves. It's important to be able to have a place to plant your feet and do your rituals. Rituals, what rituals? Every day you're doing rituals. Every day when you eat, it's a ritual, something you do every day. That's ritualistic. When you bathe, it's a ritual. When you cook, it's a ritual. You need a place to do your rituals, and you can get kind of deeper with your rituals. It's a place to pour your libations to your ancestors and sing to your ancestors and play your drums to your ancestors and power yourself up. It's important that I need my people to understand that you need land. and as much of it as you can get, with as much freedom as you can get it. Meaning, don't get stuff with interest. That scare out people though to go buy land. Because if you, like say you get raw land like we did, but then you got to build a house. That shit is so scary to people. But in order to go back to nature, that's what you have to do. So where else in this world that we live in can we do it at? Unless we sneaking somewhere. Now, if we run around sneaking about, now we're going to have to worry about being caught. All that energy and that shit. So we have to do what we can while we can, when we can, to get to where we're trying to go. One step at a time. Take a step and get some land under your feet. That's your security for your tribe. Every tribe needs security. And shelter is one of the most important things. So if you decide not to, if you're the type of person that you don't want to buy land, that land isn't for us because we don't own anything, then where is your security? Where is your womanhood and manhood? Where is it you standing on your own opposed to asking other people to provide for you? Because you're not willing to provide for yourself, but then somebody's providing for you. I think he needs me to move up. Let me see. Somebody's providing for you what you need. So why use the energy of other people when you can use your own? Own land for you and your tribe. It's very, very important. It's the way of the mother. And again, there's ways to get through it in this system. So we take one step at a time. Because then if you are a tribe, we are Nosar. And we are in the desert where we are. And then we have Nosar getting other land over here, and Nosar getting other land over here. Then our tribe is growing on our land. When you have land, you gain status in the world. As a human, all humans, the most tribal, again, they didn't do it by paperwork. They did it by claim. You can't claim shit today, you get locked the fuck up. So now you gotta claim it with that paper. And you still gotta spend energy once a year. Which is much better than spending the energy your whole life. Or 30 years of your life. To not even be able to enjoy your freedom. Because if you own land and you gotta work like a slave to keep it, you're not free, and you might as well get that shit back. Just let them fuck your credit up. You're not living free. Look at us as a people. Look at the worst of us. Those in the hood. By the way, plug it. If my sister is in the hood, that's where I need to be. Check out the like page on Facebook. Click like on the like page. Share the like page. Share the promos. We appreciate you. Free documentary for sisters in the hood. We coming to get our sisters. Well, we going to get them. But like our sisters and our sons in the hood don't know anything about buying land or owning land. They live in pueblos, like they live in cages. They live piled up on top of each other in projects. Nowhere for their children to run free, to go to the park. You got to do it with permission, closed from dusk to dawn. My son run until the sun go down and beyond on the land, in the dirt. My son have all kind of toys. But his favorite toys is rocks. Because as soon as his feet hit the dirt, no matter what toy in his hand, he got to go get a rock to feed his dinosaur. Rocks to put in his truck. Rocks go with everything to him. Potty trained outside on the soil. Now he teaching us stuff about pooping on the soil. and stances that he do, and think he trying to write his name with his P or something. I don't know. Most of the rural areas where it's beautiful at, the skies is more apparent and the air is cleaner. It's where you land at. A lot of my people don't even know about that. They don't know how to go be a part of something like that. And it sounds like a burden and a huge responsibility to them. But if you don't have land, you're not free. If you're renting, you're not free. If you're paying a mortgage, you're not free. If you're living like a vagabond, you're not free. You roaming from place to place, wondering what's next. The animals don't wonder what's next. People say that, like, if his eyes on a sparrow, I know he's watching me. They say a sparrow live day to day. And I had to look at this because my mind, I used to think like that. That they don't have a refrigerator. They don't store food. They live free. They live free of mind. They live free of thinking about where their next meal going to come anyway. But they don't. So why do I say the early bird get the worm? Because they know where they storehouse of food at. It's why they nest there in the first place. That is their refrigerator. Animals make their lions with their den not too far from the water hole, or they know where that water at to go get it. That is their refrigerator. That is their osmosis water. That is their Fiji. That is their natural water. That's their storehouse. Everything in nature has a storehouse. The ants come out every day and they go get their food and they take it back to that nest. They have a storehouse. Everything in nature is thinking ahead. Why shouldn't we? If we're going back to nature, why shouldn't we think ahead? To become wild women and wild sons again, we have to remember. One of the ways to remember is to follow nature. Men do something that animals don't do. We trade. We've always done it. We'll stake a claim over here where raspberries grow. You stake a claim over there where bananas grow. That's your barter system. We would trade. That was our money system. We trade. We always have it. Now today it's the paper game. Can we not see our way through the paper game? Can we not call enough paper to us to provide for the tribes without the system owning us? We have to think smart and think ahead, just like the animals do, because the animals are thinking ahead. It just appeared to you that they're not, because we're so far removed from nature that we don't understand how nature moves anymore. We don't understand what's really happening in nature and how they're storing up and thinking ahead. You think they're not thinking ahead? Do you see birds flock when it's getting cold? Because they got a spot that they go to for the summertime, for warmth. So when it's cold over here, they already got somewhere they already going. The same spot they was in last year, they staked claim. And then they all come back to what they went home and they summer home. Think about it. Man has become greedy. Man has just become greedy where he wants to own it all. So-called own it all. And make it hard for everybody else. But if we tribe up, it'd be so easy on us and our children and our elders. But we have to tribe up. Telling y'all, live free or die trying. daughter of our secrecy with level 77 principles. Remember the way of the mother. Remember your mothers, y'all. Remember the wounds. Calling your mother's name. I am Seeker, daughter of Mary, daughter of Francis. Y'all stay tuned. We're coming with the 7 principles. Because that's what the notes are. That's what we got our lives by, the 7 principles. To keep us righteous amongst each other, to keep us under order. We have the 7 principles. Not of old, but of today. Support our tribe, NOSAR, y'all. You can donate to our PayPal, custserve@nature-rules.com. I'll put the link. Subscribe to our YouTube. More importantly, help us get the message out for the documentary that we're doing. If my sister is in the hood, that's where I need to be. We got to go save all of our wombs. There's no wombs left behind in this war. This spiritual war that we in. The return of the mother and the return of the son. The return of truth on this planet. Wombs awaken. Because when the wombs awaken, the whole nation will awaken. Daughter of our secrecy.